Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. So this is another episode of Everyday Sexism. Boo! Boo! Yeah, so yesterday I went out dancing and it was the first time ever, I think, that my partner went home and I kind of had a night out on my own. And there's lots of people that I knew at this event and I was like having a really great time dancing. I really like dancing on my own a lot, but I know that other people like dancing like in groups, and when that happens, or someone just comes and has a good shimmy with you, um, I kind of give off like a friendly energy and kind of make them feel comfortable, and then I kind of go and kind of slowly go to my kind of individual space after a while and do my own dancing on my own. And I feel dancing on my own is just much simpler and nicer and stuff. But yeah, then this guy started like dancing like with me or like next to me and was clearly kind of, oh, I want to like hang out and dance kind of vibes. And I was like, okay, this is like, when other people do that and you're just having a cool dance together. And again, like maybe I'm just being naive, but I just feel, that I try to give people the benefit of the doubt a lot of the time. I would do this with a woman or a femme person, so why would I treat this person any different? And I know that's not really, like, in a way, there's a way to be informed about it where you don't do that, but it's also very difficult for me to like be unfriendly and not nice, basically. And no, I was just trying to have fun. I just thought it was a nice fun thing, and I was like, okay, I'll keep an eye on this and see, if I need to like communicate that I'm not interested. But at the moment, it just seems like we're having a nice time. We're just dancing together, like platonically, whatever. And then he kind of, put his arm like around my shoulder a bit, and then like spoke to me. But I thought it was like I kind of rationalized it by being like, okay, well, some people do that when they're like, oh, I want to talk to you. I mean, that wasn't very comfortable for me. I didn't really. I kind of just kept being like, some people would do that and like try to talk to you, and like it's really loud, so how else would you be able to talk to them? But I just remember feeling like, oh, this is a bit close and a bit intense. And as we were dancing, he kind of cornered me a little bit in this corner, and then I like kind of like edged out of it. And we were also dancing in a group at one point. It wasn't just me and him, and it wasn't like this like a lot of time, apart from in that instance. And then I kind of went around and was kind of dancing on my own more after that. But he kind of hanged out and was like on the side, or yeah, it was just, I just thought we were dancing buddies, and like that's fine. I do that, and I do that with men like platonically, and friends, and it was just a very kind of feminist space as well. And so whatever. I try to not be like paranoid, and so I kind of try to, probably to my discredit or whatever the expression is, try to like frame things more compassionately than I might kind of worry that they are initially. Hope that makes sense. I was like slowly edging away from him, and I would thought that would give you the signs as well that I'm not interested, kind of thing, if that's what they were thinking. And I was like dancing with facing the DJ, and then like I feel like his hand like try and grab my hand, and obviously did not track or whatever. And I was just like, spoke to him, and I was like, I have a partner, like I can be a friendly person. Like I felt like I need to explain why I was like friendly, but it's just frustrating because I should be allowed to be friendly without like that like necessarily happening, especially if I feel like I was trying to like get away from him, and maybe that didn't really, maybe he didn't really pick that up, and he couldn't really hear me, so I was like repeating that, and he was like, oh, you're taken. And also that really pissed me off as well. It's just like, okay, I'm not an object that's like taken. And also I could just be not interested in you. Like that is not like, I know, I just struggle with that idea of like, oh, someone owns you, so so you're not of any value to me anymore. I was like, yeah, I like dancing with you and like being friends. And he was like, oh yeah, friends kind of thing. From that point on, he was just very different. And obviously maybe he's embarrassed. I get that. but he just barely looked at me, and then like just started dancing immediately with other femme people, and then I was like, oh, thank God, I can just escape here. But it is quite like, I've just had that a lot with men and male friends. Like when I got a partner, all my male friends like disappeared, which is pretty gross, and kind of experiencing literally like the only time that I've been out without my partner, that happening. And you know, I've obviously not experienced that as much because he's always around, and that kind of acts as like a deterrent for men. And like I just think, I don't know, I'm just thinking like that it just makes you feel very like, oh, you're just a sex object, and you're just being valued as like that idea, and as soon as that's taken off the table, then that's it. And that's it. And I just find that I've always found that really hard to digest and accept. I mean, obviously I shouldn't, but I don't know, it just made me feel horrible, and I can't get the feeling of his hand out of my head. It was so horrible. It's such a horrible feeling. Oh man, I can't even like cope with it. Oh man, I don't know. I would have just asked, like, can I hold your hand? And you know, I'm not gonna pretend that I've never like gone out when I was younger, like gone out on the pool. Yeah, I want to acknowledge that, and you obviously just need to center consent as much as possible. I mean, maybe you can be forward. I think yeah, you can be forward with consent in mind, um, and just ask. I don't know, just ask, can I hold your hand? Yeah, I just think trying to go and hold someone's hand like that, there's just so many assumptions there. Like, who said, I don't know, and I just feel quite like, can't you just have a nice time and dance and like be friendly without that kind of thing happening? You know, it's just a bit like, well, should I just dance and not be friendly? Um, but then yeah, I don't know. I just like making people feel welcome. You know, when you dance with people and like a lot of the time, especially when people are really loving it and they're like, yeah, together, woo. And that's just kind of what I thought it was like. And I don't know. Yeah. It's definitely not my fault. I know I'm just a bit like, it just made me feel really gross and just very like, yeah, objectified. I just want to be treated like a human, you know. I just want to be treated like a man. Like I've done this poem about it's called A Man's Man, and it's like wanting to be treated like a man, because men give each other so much love and automated respect, and obviously it's nuanced, but people just don't look at me like that a lot of the time. They just look at me as like me, and I just, yeah, it's obviously really horrible, and so many people like understand this and feel this as well, and it just makes me not wanna party without my partner, which is obviously quite like reductive. Like I want to learn how to be more kind of independent. So yeah, and that's the thing, there could be a lot of play. Like this person could just not be very good at reading between the lines, or I mean, I'm not doing that to excuse the behavior, but I'm just trying to like understand things as broadly as possible, because then I don't feel as freaked out kind of thing. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about it because otherwise it would just be in my head, and I'd just be like feeling about it and just it repeating in my head. So yeah, I just wanted to complain about it. I mean, maybe I should wear a shirt that's like, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm just like, but how do you deal with this? I'm just like, anyone that you dance with, especially if they're a man, am I supposed to be like, by the way, I don't want to have a non-platonic situation with you? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I just need to get the hand memory off my head, but I don't think that's going to happen. Ah. Everyday sexism.